So I'm going to give you the conversion. 1 pound is 16 ounces. So we could put our ounces on. So if I had 16 pounds, how many ounces would I need to make my teeter-totter straight? 16. And how many ounces would I need to make my teeter-totter straight if I had 2 pounds? We're just going to double it. 32. And we're going to keep adding our amounts. And 64. This one you can just select 4 objects and list them from greatest to least. So if I was thinking a book, a paperclip, a dog, and a phone, a cell phone. What would be my greatest weight or mass? The dog. What would be my next greatest? The book. My next greatest? The phone. And my lightest? The paperclip. Is the total weight of 4 objects you measured in the first activity greater than 2 pounds? We're going to go ahead and skip this one because we won't be able to answer it unless you have a skill at home. Write a sentence that describes the relationship that is usually found between an object's size and weight. Usually. So think about a mouse. Think about its size and weight. Think about an elephant and think about its size and weight. So typically, the greater the size gives you the greater weight, but not always. Can you think of an object that would have a really big size but a very small amount of weight or mass? I thought of a cloud. So clouds are huge, but not much there. And typically the smaller the size is the smaller weight. Can you think of an object where that isn't true? I'm thinking about something like a brick. So if I measured a sponge and a brick, they might be the same size, but a brick is very dense, has a lot of mass or matter, and so it would have a greater weight. So typically, and that's why it said usually, this is what you're going to see. All right, we're going to move to practice it. Practice it. Identify 3 objects in your classroom that you could use a balance and find their weights. Estimate. So first we're going to identify, and then we're going to estimate, and then we're not going to actually weigh because we can't. We can think of 3 objects. So let's start with our smartboard. Oh, I guess I could have written that over here. Would we measure the smartboard in ounces or pounds? If you said pounds, you're right. So it probably weighs about like a person. So probably something like a small boy or girl, 50 pounds. All right, let's think about a desk. Now I pick up desks pretty easily, but would we measure in ounces or pounds? Probably pounds. And I can pick it up and move it around, so I don't think it's going to weigh more than like 5 or 10 pounds. These are just estimates, so it's okay if you picked a different number. Now think about a Chromebook. Would we measure it in ounces or pounds? Probably ounces. We said that 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So if we want less than a pound, somewhere maybe 15 ounces. Now let's think of a pen, like the pen I'm using. So think about your deck of cards is 8. Think about your pen, maybe 1. All right, now we're going to do some comparisons. We're going to do a couple of these, and then I'm going to let you practice on your own. So we're going to do, how about just the first 2? And then I'm going to, if you haven't already, I'm going to ask you to stop your, let's do the first 2, and then let's do one on the back. So let's do, let's do 14. And then I'm going to have you stop the tape if you haven't already done these and do a couple of practice to check. So here we go. We need to go convert or compare. To compare, we're going to have to convert. We already have our formula, but we need to write our little mini anchor chart. So write it with me. Big to small. I'm going to need more smalls to make up a big. So if I need more, I multiply. If I go small to big, I need fewer, so I'm going to divide. All right, ounces to pounds. Small to big. Small to big, which means I'm going to divide. I know that my number is 16. So 46 divided by 16. 10, 20, 30, 48. So 3 is going to be too big. So we're going to use 2. 2 times 16 is 32. I have 14 left over. So I have 2 pounds and 14 out of the 16 ounces needed to make a pound. So is 2 pounds 14 ounces bigger or smaller than 3 pounds? It is smaller, less than. Actually, let's do pounds to ounces, so we can do a multiplication one. So we're going to go big to small. Big to small means I multiply. My formula says 16. 16 times 5. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Is 80 pounds bigger or smaller than 78? Bigger. Greater than. Greater than. All right, flip your paper over to page 822. We're going to look at 14 together. Kara measured a dictionary twice. Her first measurement was 1 pound. How much? 1 pound. Her second measurement was 26 ounces. How much? 26. Which is the greater measurement? So we are making a comparison. So I need 1 pound as compared to 28 ounces. So I'm going from big to small, which means I'm going to multiply. So 1 times 16 is 16. So 16 is less than 28 ounces. It wanted the greater one, which is 28. All right, So at this point, I want you to go ahead and stop and go ahead and do question number 6 and question number 10. If you've already answered these on your own, you can go ahead and work with me while we work through these 2 problems. But if not, go ahead and stop and then start the video again when you're done. All right, ounces to pounds, small to big, small to big, we're going to divide. 96 divided by 16. Oh, I don't know my 16s. So I'm going to make a guess. We had 2 over here. We said 3 was in the 50s. I'm going to guess 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 8. Oh, look, I have exactly 16 as my remainder. What's our rule? Your remainder can't be the same or bigger than your divisor. So I can get one more group, and that would give me 96, and that would give me a remainder of 0. So I have 6 ounces as compared, 6 pounds, sorry, as compared to 6 pounds, which is equal. Pounds to ounces, big to small, so I'm going to multiply. My formula tells me 16 ounces in a pound, but I don't have 1 pound, I have 9 pounds, which means I need 9 groups of 16, which is multiply. 9 times 6 is 54, 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14. 144 ounces is less than 145. All right, so for the remainder of lesson 4, you are going to finish up the questions on page 821 and 822. If it asks you to actually measure something, you're just going to make an estimate unless you have a pan balance or scale to use. Then you're going to move on to our practice for your homework, 823 and 824, using the same strategies. Don't forget, you're going to start with your formula. 16 ounces equals 1 pound. Then you're going to write down your anchor chart. Big to small means you do what? Small to big means you do what? They are not going to give you this formula on the test. You're going to need to know that in every pound there are 16 ounces, and in every cup there are 8 ounces. And we'll get to that when we get to our measure of volume. So these are measurements they're not going to give you, so you're going to have to memorize this one. All right, good luck. Let me know how you're doing. If you need any help, you're welcome to call me for help, or also if you take a quick snapshot and show me that you're done, we can I'll send you my completed one. Have a good day, guys. Miss you all.